Greetings to everyone. We've just completed the match or we've just witnessed the last match, or the second match between Bangladesh and Zimbabwe, which appeared to be full of runs on a very good track. But before we start, I just want to be able to check if my voice can be heard, and if people can see me. So please thumbs up or heart if you can see me or hear me, so that we can start off. Anyone, please let me know if you can hear me or if you can see me. Press the like button if you can see me and hear me. Okay, I've got a couple of responses there. That's nice. So before we get into the game today, I just wanted to answer a few questions that I was asked last time. I didn't get the time to answer them because we ran out of time. So someone asked me why I retired early, and it is a long story. I'm sorry I won't be able to get into that because it will take up all the time, and it won't be fair for the ones that are looking forward to hearing me talk about the game that we've just witnessed today. So if you want to know about that story, my autobiography is coming out early next year, in April. And if you get that book, you'll be able to read the story and find out why I retired early. Greetings to everyone. Thank you very much. It's good to be speaking to my Bangladeshi friends, as I've always called you guys. Anyway, before we waste any more time, let's get into the game today. I was a little bit surprised to see that Mushrafi Motaza won the toss on a very, very good betting track, and he decided to put Zimbabwe into bet. I thought it was a wicket that he would put or he would bet first and score 300, because it looked like 300 was the par score. But nonetheless, I think he believed his team would be able to do the job either way. At the end of the day, when you're playing a 50 over game, it's all about batting well, bowling well, and fielding well. So yeah, it was a great wicket. Thumbs up to the groundsmen who've prepared that wicket. So from the start, you could see that it was going to be a game that was full of runs. The opening pair, came out guns blazing, and for the first maybe 5, 6, 7 overs, Zimbabwe was going at over 6 runs and over, and before the first wicket of Captain Hamilton Masakadza. And then, soon after that, there was a good partnership between Brandon Taylor and Sifas Joao, which was better than a running ball. The 50 partnership better than a running ball. And after Joao played a terrible shot, to get out, there was another good partnership. It was good to see Sean Williams, who looks to be in good touch, coming in to join, Brandon Taylor, who again, I thought he was looking set for 100. Unfortunately, he didn't carry on to score the 100. However, there was a good partnership between Sean Williams and Brandon Taylor, and they seemed to bat well together. A left hand, right hand partnership is always tough for the bowlers, especially on a flat deck like we saw today. But some clever bowling changes there from Mushrafi Motaza, because after the first 2 overs, he saw that he wasn't getting any patches on the pitch, he wasn't getting any swing, any seam movement, and then he changed straight away. He did not wait, and that's thinking on your feet, and that's what captains today should really be doing. But when Sean Williams and Taylor, though they had a very good partnership, a good partnership, it would have become a very good partnership if they managed to rotate the strike, or Rather, if Sean Williams had managed to rotate the strike as well as Brendan Taylor was, because Brendan Taylor was going for, at a running ball, while Sean Williams at one stage, he was going at 50, at a strike rate of 50%, and that wasn't, so good, especially on the wicket, because this wicket was a 300 wicket. However, that pushed on to set up a platform for what would have been a decent total. And after Sean Williams, Brendan Taylor departed, Sean Williams then followed after. That brought in, Raza and PJ Moore, who had another good partnership, because you've got to create partnerships to be able to, to post big totals. And that was another partnership. But unfortunately, when that partnership was set, there were 2 quick wickets in 2 overs. And that then deflated Zimbabwe and never posted, what I thought would have been a decent score, because anything less than 280 on that score would have been struggling. So Bangladesh then, was left to do a very simple job. When they came in to bat, and the partnership between Das and Imran Kayes up front, showed how flat the wicket was, and it was really, a wicket where if you get in, you've got to score 100. Pity Imran Kayes did not score 100. He should have really gone on to score 100, but he played really well. Das as well, he played really well, on a wicket that was good for batting. And unfortunate for a youngster, Fazal, second game, 2 zeros. Quite unfortunate for the young boy. But I'm sure, the selectors who back the youngster up so that, he gets a bit of confidence, because once you lose confidence, that's it. You can lose all the other things. You can have a technical problem, you can have a tactical problem, but once you lose confidence, that becomes a bit of a problem. So if the selectors, I'm sure the selectors will give him a bit of a chance, so that at least he doesn't lose his confidence, and maybe a bit later be able to drop him. So but they would have saved one more player. So from that position, it was all set. Mushfiqur Rahim, Mr. Dependable, came in and was dependable again to finish the game with a good partnership first with Imran Kayes, and when Mithun came in, he looks quite a decent cricketer. He stands up tall and punches the ball hard. And he looks like a batsman that could be so destructive in the middle period and also at the death, because he shows the very full face of the bat. So from that position, the game was all done. The fielding, there wasn't much to talk about. It wasn't it wasn't a bowler's wicket. But there was a drop catch by Mavuta. The ball was hit hard, but at this level, you've got to collect those catches. Unfortunately for the youngster, he wasn't able to to come to to stay up with the task. Good bowling from Sikandar Raza. Managed to get a little bit of purchase on a little bit of 10. I've just read a comment here. I'll come back to some questions. I'll ask you to ask me some questions. I'm just about to finish them, and then I'll come back to the questions. But yes, I will come back to the questions. So yes, he did get some patches. Coming back to Sikandar Raza on a wicket that was not really, turning, especially even under lights. So, fair play to Sikandar Raza, and, after also, almost getting a 50. That was it. I mean, at the very end, it was just a waiting game, because there was nothing to look forward, really looking forward to, because there was never going to be any action. The series is gone, but I know that in the third game there's going to be something to play for. I mean, for both teams, I can suspect that there will be a few changes, a few youngsters given a chance to be able to see, and give others a bit of game time, and maybe to give some batsmen that haven't had time, or some bowlers that haven't had time in the middle, to do that. So that was the game. So hopefully we'll have another cracker. We'll have a good wicket that is full of runs, because one day cricket and short version white ball cricket is great when they're full of runs. The crowds come in numbers. They were in numbers again in Chittagong, which is always nice to see people coming in numbers in Bangladesh. Thank you very much. A lot of love that's coming from Bangladesh. Thank you very much. To the questions now. If you'd like to ask some questions, we only have 5 minutes of a few questions, and that will be it. But another good play from Bangladesh. I don't know what we're going to expect really from Zimbabwe in the last match. That question keeps coming back again. Why did you retire early, so early from Cricket Taibu? Well, again, I will answer it again, brother. If you want to know the full story, I have written my autobiography, which is just about to be published, and it's going to be published next year, in April. That's when it's going to be published, and you will read the full story why I retired. There are a few stories on the internet, but not entirely true. But the full story is with the autobiography that's coming up. You'll find it very, very, very interesting. Thank you very much. I miss Bangladesh as well. I always say, like I said after the first game, that I always enjoy being in Asia. I always enjoy being in Bangladesh. Someone says, please come back. Why early retire? I've already answered that. I can't keep repeating that one. But you will read about it. I promise. The publishing company that I'm working with is finishing up. We'd already finished, but we're just adding a few bits and pieces that happened this year. I'm sorry I cannot come back. Someone has just asked why, he has just asked that I should come back. I'm sorry I cannot come back. In terms of international cricket, I've called it quits. But I do still play some cricket, and I still do enjoy it. So thank you very much. If there are no more questions, thank you very much, and we'll see you once again. Keep the squad, this Zimbabwe. Well, that's really up to the selectors. Someone is just asking, for me to keep the squad, but I'm not with Zimbabwe Cricket, so I'm sure it's the selectors. I'm sure it's the organization that will have to look into those things. However, thank you very much, and always good chatting to you. Thank you once again.